Okay, good afternoon, everyone. First order of business, when the congressman is in the room, I sincerely must say for all of you to know that without his leadership on the Hill, public housing in Schenectady probably wouldn't exist. And that's a serious and true statement considering the budget that's been put forth by the current administration the last couple of years, which basically zeroed out our capital funding and, did zero out our capital funding, and severely beyond what we're unfortunately gotten used to as the type of cuts that we're familiar with, really deeply, deeply cut public housing and Section 8 funding in that budget. So I really applaud you for everything you're doing, and to know that without that help, at least I know that we would really be out of business at this point. So thank you very much. So much has been accomplished since the passing of the Fair Housing Act 51 years ago, but we have to be mindful that housing discrimination certainly still exists. If you open Craigslist today and go to apartment listings for rent, you'll eventually find listings that pretty prominently say no Section 8. To me, that's humiliating and outright unfair. It's a discriminatory practice that negatively impacts protected classes under the Fair Housing Act. Historically, in New York State, the law did not restrict landlords from refusing to accept tenants that have Section 8 vouchers to pay their rent. Yet, refusing to accept Section 8 voucher holders disproportionately impacts Black and African American families. In Schenectady, 60% of our Section 8 waiting list families have designated the head of household's primary race as Black or African American, and 32% have designated their primary race as white. Therefore, refusing to rent to voucher holders in Schenectady negatively impacts mostly Black or African American citizens with no protection from the Fair Housing Act. Nationally, the refusal to rent to voucher holders is 71 times more likely to exclude Black renters than white renters. There are 36 states in our nation that allow landlords to exclude renters that rely on housing subsidies like Section 8 and DSS. Some landlords will claim that the Section 8 program provides lower rents, more paperwork, and more inspections as reasons to not participate in the program. But landlords that participate in the program have rents that are market reasonable, reduced liability due to free safety inspections, and direct deposit rent payment on the first of each month is extremely popular. I am very thankful for the 750 landlords that partner with the Schenectady Housing Authority to provide shelter for 1,400 families in the city. And here's the great news. On April 12th of this year, the Lawful Source of Income Non-Discrimination Act was signed into law by Governor Cuomo. This act amends the New York State human rights law by adding lawful source of income as a protected class for the sale or lease of any property in the state. This means that landlords can no longer refuse potential tenants who receive Section 8 vouchers and any other type of lawful housing assistance. Advertising no Section 8, no DSS, or no programs is specifically prohibited from this point forward. This new law will protect over 570,000 New York families who are elderly, disabled, minority, veterans, and vulnerable families. I wholeheartedly applaud the work of the governor and our state lawmakers for passing and executing this new law during Fair Housing Month. Thank you very much.